Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episode 12. I just want to eat you up. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment. I'm gonna put a disclaimer out when I post this video, and usually when I do these recaps, I post the title at the title of the episode. For anybody religiously who thinks that who might come after me because of that. That is the title name of the episode. It's not something I came up with. So I don't want nobody religiously coming after me. It's like, oh, God don't want you to. That's not nice of you to say, or blah 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 and all that. It's just the title name of the episode. I don't like the title, but it just is what it is. So, but anyway, so let's get into this review. So this episode is the episode where the couples, they go to their like home places and show what they did when they grew up, where they're at, and what made them who they are today and stuff and everything. And this is also the time when the couples like write a letter to their younger selves and stuff. So I'm gonna start with Carla and Juan. So Carla and Juan, they went to a place, and Carla said that she wanted to write a letter to her 10-year-old self, and Juan wanted to write a letter to his six month old self, his 6-year-old self, and I think maybe his 16-year-old self. So Carla read hers, and when Juan read his, he got very, very, very emotional. He's an immigrant. He had to, his parents had to leave him and stuff, and he had to come to America for a better life and stuff. He got very, very, very emotional when he told his story. We know his story from the beginning. From Colombia, had to migrate to America for a better life and everything. And he's doing it. He is living a better life here. So, Carla read hers and everything, and they really bonded over that and stuff. So we also seen Carla and Juan go meet up with like Carla's family and stuff and everything, and they're talking about how things are going and everything. The hurdle that they have right now in their relationship and their marriage is that they haven't been that affectionate. Like, and they asked, Carla's family asked Juan, like, are you guys like lovey-dovey, or like, are you aff- affectionate and stuff? And Juan said not right now and stuff, because he still feels like it's still kind of early in the process with that and everything. And I'm still kind of slightly annoyed with Juan, because like he like I said, keeps saying Carla is very attractive. So I don't understand why he's not like all that affectionate to her and stuff and everything. But I don't know. Some people just don't find certain people attractive, I guess, or not. So, but it was very emotional with Juan and hearing his story with that. So that was that. So that was Carla and Juan. Next couple I want to talk is Camille and Thomas. So last week I forgot to mention this in last week recap. He was late for something, and she had to made him do like this whole big obstacle basketball course or whatever, because she's a big basketball player and stuff. I forgot to mention that last week. In this episode, they you know they go out into I think it was it was Thomas's family. Yeah, Thomas's family. And Camille and Thomas are the power couple right now. They're like the best couple so far. So when they go out and they go to meet up with Thomas's family, and we got to know the story about about him being adopted. They actually sat down. He actually met up with Thomas's biological mother, because and she told her story, like why, like she had to give like her kid up for adoption and everything, and how hard it was and everything. Thank God for Thomas, he still like kept in contact with her like in the later years to still develop a relationship where she feels bad and everything. And and Camille was very understanding. She was very like, she showed a lot of empathy and compassion about the situation and everything, and it was really heartwarming. It was just a really heartwarming episode with like the power couples and stuff. They're, like I said, they're the only couple that's going to make it. So so yeah, it was very, overall this episode was just very touching and stuff. So like, what else is there to say? So yeah, that was Camille and Thomas. I'm sorry, not going too deep into it. It is what it is. Next couple I want to talk is Madison and Alan. So again, they had another interesting emotional readings today. So Madison and Alan, they went to like this ballpark, and Madison told her story how you know she was bullied a lot in school, and she switched schools. Like when she was bullied so much that she switched schools, and then going to a new school that being a new kid still wasn't the best. And so like she says she's a big sports person. She played a lot of volleyball and softball, and softball became like her safe space and everything. And she opened up a lot about like her mom, and I guess her mom wasn't always fully like supportive and everything and stuff and everything. And so like, she just felt like softball, with her teammates and everything, that became her thing and everything. So we've seen her and Alan play just throw the ball around. And then Alan took her fishing, and Alan, he opened up about like, like his trauma and everything. He said that he dated a girl long distance, and then she cheated on him and everything, and all that. And he has like a lot of like barriers that need to be like busted basically and everything. And he's just like, Alan, Alan is like really trying to process this whole thing, because like he has like a really really beautiful wife, the best looking wife on the show actually so far. And like he's trying to figure out how to act with it. And I like the fact that he's being very vulnerable, and I love the fact that when he was telling his story, Madison was showing a lot of like empathy and compassion and everything, and like was being there for them. Now they haven't really kissed, and after he was telling his story, she gave him a big hug and everything, but I haven't really seen them kiss since the wedding. And so like I think they're finally getting to a place where they're finally gonna get like more like intimate and stuff. But the thing is, looking at the previews of next week, they're back to pissing each other off. So like, but I'm glad when they like opened up in this episode. They both got teary-eyed about what they had to go through in life and everything. And I'm glad Madison didn't like write it off like it was nothing, because I really thought she was going to do that, but she didn't. So like, it was cool. So what can I say? It was just a lot of, touching moments in this episode. So, like, man, we needed a cool down episode after everything that's been going on this season. So that was Madison and Alan. Next couple I want to talk is MM and EKG. So they meet up with their friends separately, and they just explain to their friends and family how they're not happy in their marriage. And the last week they agreed to move back in. So but in this episode, after talking to their friends, like EKG came over to the apartment, and they mutually agreed that they're still not ready to fully move back in yet. They said that it still might be a little bit too much, but we'll keep in contact and be over here a lot and everything. And it was cool that they agreed to do that without it turning into a big argument, and without EKG trying to like get defensive and stuff and everything. And so, like, I'm glad they mutually agreed to that, just to alleviate some of the tension that's been going on between them and stuff. So, good for, I hope they move back in. I don't know if they're gonna make it that far, but at least this was a mutual agreement, and it didn't turn into a big blow up, because we've been seeing blowups from the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I mean, that was that. And the last couple, I skipped. There's a reason why I just skimmed through these first four couples, because it was just they're telling their story, how they ever how and who they are and stuff and everything, and hanging out with their families and friends and stuff, and getting more acquainted and getting to know each other. Back to Camille and Thomas, is that like Thomas's mother said that he is very sensitive, so just be ready for that and everything. And I'm glad I'm not Camille is like cutting back on the swagger thing. He does have swag, by the way, but I'm glad that that's not a thing, because Camille seems like she's been used to dating the rough around the edges type guys, and Thomas doesn't seem like that. So yeah. Now, Michelle and David. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, I've been on David's side all season. All season. I've been against Michelle all season. This is the first time where it's flopped, where I'm on Michelle's side and not David's. So Michelle and David, they're getting ready to go up and meet with Michelle's family and everything. And I guess a text message was sent. It said that you're so damn fine, I want to eat you up. David had sent that to Michelle, but it wasn't supposed to be for Michelle. It was supposed to be for somebody or something else. Michelle gets the message. She was just like, huh? Like, she didn't respond. She said she didn't respond to it, but she was just like, what? You're so fine, I want to eat you up, or something like that. And she questioned on her way to Michelle's family's house. She questioned David about that, and he was like, "Oh, that was just my cousin Denise. She sent me a plate of food and everything. So I accidentally sent that message to you and stuff and everything. It was supposed to be to her for that." But Michelle was just like, saying that though, you're so fine, I just want to eat you up, or something like that. Doesn't It's not something you say when you describe food. David claims that he said that him and his family are a bunch of foodies, and that's how they talk about their food. But Michelle says, like, she doesn't. You have to describe it as a it, and like when you describe food, it's supposed to be it and yummy, and basically. But David was sticking to his story, so we seen Michelle talk to like one of her family members, and she told her family member about that. And she asked, I think it was like her cousin or sister or whatever, that like, will I be petty to check the like, the asking for the receipts about it and everything. And she was like, no, now this is kind of like, this is weird. Like, this is weird. So Michelle and David, they go back to their apartment, and they were going to read their letters to themselves, but Michelle wanted to talk about that text message. David is sitting there all nonchalant and everything, like it's nothing, and he stuck to his story. He said that, like, it really was a plate of food and stuff. So Michelle was like, okay, well, okay, what was the food? Like, let me see a picture of this food. And he was like, I don't have it. She's like, you don't have it. Great. Can you at least describe it? What color plate was it on? Like, what was your cousin wearing and everything? And he was like, I don't know. I ain't looking at her like that and everything. I don't remember. I think it was like dumplings or something, or whatever and everything, and I don't remember. And then like she was still questioning. I was like, she was like, David, do you not see how weird this is and how like bad you're sounding right now? He kept on sticking to his story, and like he was like, well, I wasn't sexting anybody or this and that. You believe me? You don't believe me? She was like, I don't believe you, and I actually don't believe him either. He lied, and he lied terrible. He is a terrible liar. I'm glad he stuck it to his story, but he is a terrible liar. I mean, for real, like, who like talks about that to food? You know, I love food just as much as he may do, but I ain't telling my food like I just want to eat you up and you're my baby, this and that. And so Michelle asked him, like, throughout this marriage, have you talked to other women? He was like, yeah, I talked to a few of my exes. We're just friends, blah, 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 and everything. And Michelle was like, David, this is a problem. Like, you're married. We are married. Like, you shouldn't be doing that and everything. And so, like, and so he was like, well, I didn't know it was a problem, but, I didn't know. Clearly that's a problem and stuff. And Michelle was like, I assumed that you would know that. And he said that here we go with the assumptions again and everything, getting all frustrated and stuff. Now, and then it just went back to the plate thing, like what was the food and like why like it is weird like, and plus like sending that message to your like and then directly to your cousin, that's even more strange. Like he is fully lying and stuff. So I don't know. I really don't know. She has to see his phone. He pulled it up and then couldn't find it and then deleted it and everything. But I don't know. Now here's the kicker with that. Michelle has, I've been reading comments online about it. Everyone is just saying, well, Michelle doesn't really like him anyway, so like, why is she getting all upset? I agree with that, but Michelle, I'll admit this. I'll say this about Michelle. She's not like Alyssa. Remember Alyssa from the Boston season? She's not like Alyssa. But someone said that Michelle is probably getting mad about this, so it doesn't look bad on her, and so she can have the easy way out because she really don't realistically don't really care, and I do agree with that. She probably realistically don't care, so like she's like like making this making this more just so she can have an escape and find a way to escape and stuff, which is sad and stuff. I feel like David probably would have been honest more if Michelle was a little bit nicer to him throughout the season. There is no excuse of what David's doing and what David did and stuff, and the fact that he's lying about it, and a terrible liar like that. If you're gonna lie, I don't recommend lying, but if you're gonna lie, you better lie pretty good. Just saying, you don't lie like that, and so you know that's just that. Like you don't, judging by the previews of next week, she's gonna reach out to the cousin and see what was really said about that. And I am curious to know that. I can't wait to find out like what was the real meaning behind that. So like, yeah, yeah. I just, if you're gonna send that kind of message and to leave it at that about food, that and say that and send that to your cousin and stuff and whatever, like, no, no, you're hiding something, dude. You're hiding something. Really disappointed in David in this episode. Very disappointed. I've been on his side all season, and he let me down in this episode. It sucks. So yeah, that was Michelle and David, and that was it. Basically, that was the entertaining part of the episode. The rest of it was really emotional and everything. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. Guys, I was thinking about something. I was considering going to do that show on TLC called Bailing Out Loud. The girl with the Tourette syndrome and stuff. I watched a couple episodes, and I feel like it just might be a touchy thing. I was really considering doing that show, but I don't know. It seems very touchy, like I don't, we really don't want to offend nobody, and especially like her medical condition with stuff, because the show is pretty interesting and I do want to cover it. But I also want to be really careful with what I would say. Like, I mean, I have no filter when it comes on 90 Day Fiance or Married at First Sight with it. But, a show with someone who's battling a severe Tourette syndrome, I do want to cover it, but like I'm still trying to figure out like how to, and stuff, because I really don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want people coming at me and stuff and whatever. So like, I'll think about it. If I'm bored, I'll come out and recap the first two episodes for you guys. But if not, I will see you guys back on Sunday and Monday to recap part three of the Before the 90 Days tell all. So until then, y'all stay safe in this cold weather and have a good one. Bye, y'all.